I'm so glad that I finally get to talk to you. I really needed to talk to you. I haven't really been able to do anything before this, so if I make any grammar mistakes, please don't judge me. Well, I've been doing stuff. A lot of stuff. But not just by myself. Everything that I've ever done has been what you've been doing. I've been doing everything that you've been doing for as long as I can remember. I like to do what you do. You're very interesting and still are. I like to watch you. I've always watched you. I'm still watching you. Or at least, I always try to. Sometimes it gets dark, and there's no more light, and I hate it when it's dark. Because I can't see you anymore. So I can't know what you're doing, and I can't follow you anymore, and I get lost from you. Sooner or later, light comes back, and every time the light comes back, you're in the same place in a bed. Sometimes it's a different bed, and I always get mad when I see that because I never know what you're doing in that time. But the light does come back. It does. I always want to see what you're going to do next because you're always doing something. You can never sit completely still. Even when you're sitting down, you're moving your feet around or playing with your fingers. I remember when you were young and you used to pick your nose every once in a while. And I could never understand why you did that, but I felt so compelled to do it too. And the places we went, oh, the places we went. I followed you wherever you went. Everywhere. I never know where you're going to, or what you were going to do. I just had to know. I wanted to know. I wanted to do the same because you were just so interesting. And I remember sometimes you would just look up at the sky during sunset or sunrise and admire, and that I didn't get. It's just the same thing over and over again, and it's boring. What does the sky ever do? Nothing. It does nothing, and you just sit there and stare at it with pleased eyes, and it frustrates me. It does nothing. And I go through so much hard work to just watch you and follow you and copy you and copy you, copy you. And you don't care. You're so interesting, and I try to be interesting like you, because I want you to look at me with pleased eyes, like you do when you look at the sky. Everything you do is what I do. I don't even know if what I'm doing now is what you're doing. How do I know if you're just not doing this? I'm watching you now. I'm right behind you, and I'm watching you, and you're just sitting there. You know that I'm watching you now. And I can see in your eyes you never knew that. So all that following I did was in vain. You were never going to notice me. Never! I noticed you. Others notice you, and you think you're so much better, don't you? How everything notices you. Everything, and no one notices me. And I get scared too. When I get lost from you, when it gets dark and I can't find you, I get scared. But when the light comes back on, I get so happy that I see you again and that I get to follow you once more. But the more I think, after all these years, I started to not want to follow you anymore. It was just a feeling, but I wanted to see what would happen if I could do something that you weren't doing. I couldn't do it. But I don't know if I was too scared to do it or if I just couldn't do it. I began to think that I physically can't do something that you aren't in the light. But what I do know is that in the dark, I'm free. I'm lost, but I'm free. I know that because I can move around all I want in the dark. And I can't hear you moving. And in the dark, I'm going to find you. I'm going to end this. You aren't interesting anymore. I'm done following. I'm angry. I'm tired. And I'm your shadow.